The Secret of Everyday Things by Jean-Henri Fabre. Recording by Ella Porter. Chapter 1. Thread. Uncle Paul resumed his talks on things that grow and things that are made, while his nephews, Jules and Emile, and his nieces, Claire and Marie, listened to his true stories, as they liked to call them, and from time to time asked him a question or put in some word of their own. Continuing the subject of cotton manufacture, he called his hearers' attention to the number of processes the raw material must go through before it emerges as finished fabric ready for making into wearing apparel, and to the countless workmen that must, from first to last, have been engaged in its production and in all the operations leading up to its final application to household uses. "Then I should think," said Marie, "that cotton cloth would be very expensive if all those workmen are to get their pay for the time and labor they have put into its manufacture." "On the contrary," Uncle Paul assured her, "the price is kept down to a very moderate figure. But to accomplish this surprising result, two powerful factors are called into play: wholesale manufacture and the use of machinery. The process employed for spinning cotton into the thread that you see wound on spools will help you to understand my meaning. You know how the housewife spins the tow that is used for making linen. First she thrusts inside her belt the distaff, made out of a reed and bearing at its forked end a bunch of tow. Then with one hand she draws out the fibers and gathers them together by moistening them a little with her lips, while with the other she twirls her spindle and thus twists the loose fibers into a single strand. After she has twisted it tightly enough, she winds it on the spindle, and then proceeds to draw out another length of tow from the distaff." "Mother Annette is very skilful with the distaff," put in Claire. "I like to hear her thumb snap when she twirls the spindle. But when she spins wool, she uses a spinning wheel." "First of all," Uncle Paul explained, "the carded wool is divided into long wisps, or locks. One of these is brought into contact with a rapidly twirling hook, which catches the wool and twists it into a thread that lengthens little by little at the expense of the lock of wool, the latter being all the while held and controlled by the fingers. When the thread has attained a certain length, it is wound on the spindle by a suitable movement of the wheel, and then the twisting of the lock of wool is resumed. In case of need, cotton could be thus spun by hand, but skilful as Mother Annette is at such work, cloth made from thread spun in that fashion would be enormously expensive because of the time spent in producing it. What then shall we do? We must resort to machinery, and in vast establishments, known as cotton factories, we set up hundreds of thousands of spindles and bobbins, all moving with..."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?